All right. Hi everyone, welcome to a slightly festive themed Christmas painting lab. I told you that I would be back before the big day and I've managed to make it by the skin of my teeth. If you're new here, let me explain. We've spent 6 years refining a totally different way to learn the skills of drawing and painting, thanks to a device invented by a man called Tim Jennison. Now, a couple of things have happened here on the channel in the last 3 or 4 weeks. One of them is that we passed 1,000 subscribers. Another is that Tim and I decided, yes, we are ready. We are all set to positively change the way that people learn to draw and paint by taking the fear out and putting fun and fascination in its place. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly how we propose to do this and how you can become actively involved. There have been points in this project where I've felt like packing everything away and just going back to my regular job as a painter. But thanks to your encouragement and your support and your ideas more than anything else, I've managed to keep going. So now I get to say something I've really always wanted to say on this channel, which is, welcome to Painting Lab. When was the last time you tried to draw or paint something?
About 3 years ago, trying to draw a flower just for my own enjoyment to see if it's something I would do, and just stopping because the task is too daunting.
There is a fascinating world of potential and creativity waiting out there, but so many of us lose sight of our creative potential because, well, we can't draw.
All artists, even the most realistic, start from some kind of vision. That's what leads them to select what they need from the infinite diversity of appearances.
It's taken 6 years to be sure, but we now think we're ready to target, tackle, and begin to solve these confidence issues with you together, once and for all. Our aim here is to blow the possibilities of painting wide open. And at the centre of everything Painting Lab does is a new way that everyone can get over the hump of realistic drawing and painting without cheating, tracing, or shortcutting anything. So hold on to your artist quality paintbrushes, because we begin by doing for art what the calculator did for mathematics. One of the most interesting and useful things I was ever told when I was learning to be a painter was that basically all realistic or lifelike painting is a con trick. What you're trying to do is turn this into something that looks like reality. And the only way you're ever going to achieve that is to stop thinking of the illusion overall and to start thinking about the decisions that stack up to create that image. And this all begins with simple brush marks. Each brush mark is a decision when you think about it, about colour and about tone and about shape. Traditionally, the only way to get comfortable with this is to dedicate yourself to 5 or maybe 10 years of practice. And if I'm at this stage with a painting, I could very easily shoot some high definition footage and some time lapse, and you could see the whole thing from start to finish. But that doesn't really put you in the driver's seat with me, or at least in the passenger seat. So in order for you to effortlessly see what I see as I see it, I've had to teach myself to paint in a totally different way. And this all sounds a bit technical, so maybe I should just show you what I've been up to. Come on. Okay, so if you're new to this channel and you've no idea what a comparator mirror is and all that stuff, hopefully this is the moment where it starts to make sense. So here I've basically got a mirror on a stick, and here is the image that I want to paint. So when I look into the mirror, I can see my image is reflected as if it is here on the surface that I'm painting on. And that means that all anyone needs to do to paint with authentic confidence is to look over the top of this mirror, look back and forth and take my time, and then make a decision about colour, about shape and about tone. And what we've discovered over the last 6 years on this channel is that this makes realistic full colour painting possible for everyone, without tracing or cheating. But today, I want to see if I can use the comparator mirror to let you see what I see when I paint. To shoot this, I've had to train myself to paint by looking into the backside of a camera, so bear with a little bit of shaky camera work. This, by the way, is the coronavirus wedding portrait I'm going to be showing you from start to finish and explaining in a different video. But for this demo, we're going to use a detail from the painting, which is our sunflower. I'm going to begin this like I would do with every other painting. I'm blocking in the big forms. I'm not at all worried about detail at this point. All I'm really worried about is getting a reasonable colour and tone match, which I can do with added confidence because I'm looking back and forth in the mirror. And this gives me kind of anchor points so that I can move around the composition with greater confidence. And because you can see what I can see in the mirror, you'll see why I'm putting brush marks in certain places, which I think will leave me free to really focus on how paint actually behaves, on how to get it to do what you want it to. So here I'm using a clean brush with a little bit of thinner to get the beginnings of that blend. And in a minute, I'm going to use exactly the same technique, to carve away at that bigger form and begin to refine the shapes. And I can come back to that at a later date. I'd also on this channel like to talk about how you get real energy or painterliness into your brushwork. And of course, the best way to do this is to apply paint with a degree of confidence. But if you're afraid of losing control of your image all the time because you're a novice or you're just not very confident, this can be almost impossible. And look there, I've almost completely lost my shape. But I know that I can carve back into that form I've just put in place with the brush marks or the decisions that sit around it and get that shape back. And knowing how to sort of knit brush marks together like this to create a painting is basically the work of being a painter, but the potential for everyone to do this is that much closer here simply because our source image is that much closer in the mirror. And here I'm putting in a leaf on the other side, and you can see, look how far away from my actual source image it is, but that doesn't bother me. What I'm after is energy in the paint and a reasonable match with tone and colour. Because I know that when I come back with my background colour, I can carve the shape of this leaf back out. So we choose something to paint, we block in our major forms, and then we decide how, in our own particular way, we're going to refine them. And it is as simple as that. And the truth is, it always has been. Sound good? Right. Well, let's get on with some painting then.
Make the painting how you want it to be. You can still add your own style into it. I'm changing the way I use my brush strokes, the way I like.
As quick as 4 or 5 strokes in, I grasped what the mirror was doing. It's that hint of maybe I could do this.
So my head is about to explode with all the fantastic ideas for content because of this new way into drawing and painting. But there is a vicious cycle that we need to try to break together, which begins with fantastic art tutorials that ends with people completely disappointed by their own abilities to do something similar. What art teachers have really always known is that the better the demonstration, the bigger the potential for disappointment. So hopefully you'll feel inspired by all this fantastic content we have planned. But now comes the clever bit. The plan is to make the comparator mirror available to everyone at the most affordable price we can. That means that you can take your inspiration and rather than ending up in frustration and disappointment, you can short that circuit and turn your inspiration into genuine confidence to draw and paint, which hopefully will grow and grow as Painting Lab grows and grows. It's so tempting to just carry on painting this. There is a lot of backstory here. I will explain all about this picture in a different video. For now though, let's just try to talk about the flower that we've painted. From about 6 feet away, it looks fairly convincing, doesn't it? But if we get within about 3 feet, you start to be able to see the con trick I was talking about earlier. You start to be able to see the decisions. I'll probably go back over this when it's dry with another pass to tighten things up and create another level of detail down. And I know some painters who pass over a picture 4 or 5 times. If we're talking about Leonardo da Vinci, you'll have to get within inches to be able to see those decisions, if the guards will let you do that. But trust me, if you get close enough, you will stop seeing the masterpiece and you will start seeing how a painter was actually thinking. And of course, that's also the key to you being able to paint with real confidence. Now, if you think about it, there's never been a way for 2 people to share the process of building up decisions and discussing how a picture comes together. And that, to my mind, is why the comparator mirror is so significant. But if you're wondering about how difficult it actually is to use a comparator mirror, I'll be posting a video on this channel very soon where I paint a copy of John William Waterhouse's Lady of Shalott with a complete beginner. Out of 10,
Yes.
How satisfying is this feeling?
10.
Me too.
I feel proud.
You should. So we are going to have the privilege of watching this lady's confidence transform, and I suspect a lot of what we talk about will be very familiar in terms of the disappointments that Wendy has had and the thrill of finally being able to make lifelike, realistic paintings at last. What's important is that Wendy and I go beyond this in our process, so we move away from using the comparator mirror, and I think that's important too. If we're going to learn anything about painting with this, it needs to be stuff that we can use freely. You know, if this experiment that we're calling Painting Lab takes off and begins to change things, becomes a movement, I have a feeling it won't be down to me, it will be down to you guys, taking your courage in both hands and thinking, yeah, you know, with a different approach, understanding how decisions are made and how they build up. I reckon I probably could do this. And if you want to play an active part in this project, you can of course subscribe and like and hit the notification bell and leave me a comment and all the normal stuff. But the most significant thing you could do is go to our website, paintinglab.com, where you can join our mailing list, and that means you will be amongst the first to hear about the release of Tim Jennison and I's comparator mirror glimpse, is what we're going to call it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed what I've proposed here. Until next time then, good luck with all your creative endeavours. Wish me luck with mine, and I'll see you next time. As a last thought, if you want to become involved in what Painting Lab is up to before we release our comparator mirror kits, you can post images of artworks that perhaps you're struggling with on Instagram. If you can, it would be great if you could describe the problems that you're having with each post, and then we can see if we can help you sort things out. Also, if there is an image or a subject that you would like us to tackle, just let us know. We'd love a challenge, and we'd love a challenge that really means something and has some relevance to the people who watch our videos. Thanks guys, bye.